Hello everyone, my name is Hannah and I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech on texting and driving. So, the use of cell phones in the wrong situations can take one's life in a matter of seconds. As teens and individuals in today's society, cell phones are used as part of our everyday lives. If not everyone, you may find yourself texting throughout the day to numerous people, whomever it may be. As these online messages have become more and more normalized, our society has begun to use the cell phone 24/7. As one's driving, they could potentially text someone they may know or reply to a message while they're driving. The reason I am speaking on this subject is because it has become very much vocal and more common as the years go by. My generation has had technology and cell phones as long as we can remember. All the advancements in smartphones, texting, and driving has become more and more talked about, and there have been more and more incidents on the road because of cell phones. As a teen, I have been very much exposed to this, and I see it happen almost every day. For those reasons, I decided to conduct research on this topic. So out of you 5 people here, how many of you have texted and drove?
Does you have to drive?
Have you texted and drove?
People should not text and drive as the outcome could be life-threatening. The 3 main reasons I will talk about include that it's distracting, it increases the chances of an accident, and it leads to a slower response time overall. All this being said, we will now go more in depth with why texting and driving has such a negative impact, starting with how distracting it can be. Texting and driving is extremely distracting to the individual in the driver's seat. Individuals today are so used to the idea of texting and using their cell phones to constantly communicate with others that texting someone back while driving is normal for them. Although individuals do this, it is ultimately very distracting for the driver. According to he, there is a study based on distracting handheld versus speech-based texting and driving, and although you do not physically have the phone on you, it is still equally distracting. In the US, 3,450 people were killed by motor vehicle crashes caused by distracted driving in 2016. This being said, there is no reasonable or backed up excuse that texting and driving isn't distracting to the driver. According to he, 31.4% of the drivers have reported they sent a text, while 40.2% of drivers have said that they have read a text while driving in the past 30 days. As it is very distracting and causes collision and road disturbance, there has been a specific occasion where an individual tries to get a law passed so that texting and driving gets cracked down on and there are harsher consequences versus just kind of getting told, don't text and drive, and then you do it again. According to Drive While Texting, Arizona Representative Steve Farley proposed a bill to fine those who get caught texting and driving as if it is a crime. Although one wouldn't get fined until they get in the car accident, he projects an 80% decrease on those who text and drive once the bill is passed. With a law like this, it may scare individuals into not using their phone while driving to avoid getting a ticket or a fine on top of whatever cost the collision will lead to. As there is a projected 80% decrease on the texting and driving, it should not get down to the point like this to get one to stop. Now that the distraction of texting and driving has been discussed, let's talk about how it leads to lower response time. Texting and driving lead to individuals responding slower on the road overall. Those who end up texting and driving respond to cars braking and red lights slower than if you were paying attention to the road. According to FAIR, texting is only one of the many distractions while driving. There are also distractions including eating while driving and also talking to people while driving. This means there are other causes, but it states that texting along with using a phone are number 1. The use of cell phones while driving has also increased car crashes immensely. The distractions that cell phones create then lead to them not responding the way that they should when there are certain things going on. According to FAIR, the braking reaction speed is slowed by up to 18% by those who text and drive. Responding to surroundings is also at a very slower rate and can be very life-threatening. Using a cell phone impairs the driver to respond quickly and have all attention on the road. As stated above, the braking reaction is slowed, which then leads to the inference that many other aspects while driving are slowed as well. Texting and driving is the main issue, but little things such as eating and driving can lead to a slower response on the road as well. According to Vera, holding a phone in one's hand while navigating a vehicle slows reaction time by 46%, so that's even more than just talking on the phone. Texting and driving increases the chance of a car accident as there are many factors in which are not going for these individuals. The impairment from texting and driving can lead to one not having the proper attention on the road. One may say that texting and driving impairs an individual similar to the impairment of intoxicated driving. Although they are different, they both increase the risk of a car accident and make the driver less aware of their surroundings. According to Schwartzberg, texting and driving has led to an estimate of people being killed because of driver distraction. In this article, it's also discussed that how texting and driving and drunk driving are equally as risky. Teens especially raise the risk of a car accident as well. Today's society, teens are attached to social media and their phones, leading to a high risk of texting and driving. According to he, texting while driving is even more common in young drivers, with more than 90% of college students reporting that they have texted while driving in 2015. Teens are already at a higher risk for accident, but adding this factor in makes it worse. According to Schwartzberg, young drivers between the ages of 17 and 24 are the most causing of near accidents and deaths from texting and driving. Overall, the three main reasons that texting and driving is so critical to not do are that it is very distracting to the driver, it increases the chance of an accident, and it leads to a slower response time. Next time you text and drive, make sure to think about these statistics.